About 70% of the success of your fish depends on the feeding routines. How you feed your fish, the feed you give your fish determines the success of your fish. And a lot of beginners are having challenges when it comes to the feeding of their fish. And in this video, I'm going to take you through 3 common mistakes to avoid when you are feeding your fish, because these mistakes can either lead to the success of your fish or can lead to the disaster of your fish farm. So please stay watching and make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. All we do in the channel is to share fish farm tips based on our experience and research. So let's move in details. First and foremost is overfeeding. Overfeeding of the fish is very dangerous and it can lead to diseases and mortality. Now, if I say overfeeding, it means giving your fish the feed more than necessary or more than they require at a time. Overfeeding can come in several ways. For instance, you may give your fish even lesser feed as they usually take, but they will be overfeeding. And it is simple. When they don't consume the feed or they consume more than they require at that time, you have overfed them. Probably they might be taking more than they have taken previously, but yet it can be considered as overfeeding. And when you overfeed your fish, you are not only wasting the feed, but it also leads to poor water quality. When you overfeed your fish, the leftover feed is dissolved in the pond. The leftover feed, you have wasted it like that, and look at how the feed is costly. That is, you are wasting money at that time or at that same time. Apart from wasting the money and the feed, when that leftover feed is dissolved and melt in the pond, it can lead to water quality issues. So that would lead to poor water quality because it will increase the ammonia level and it will reduce the oxygen level, and that can lead to suffocating of the fish and even to mortality. So try to avoid overfeeding as best as possible. But in case you even notice that you have overfed your fish, and when you wait about 10 to 15 minutes and the feed is still on the pond, then take away all the leftover feed. Just use something, take them away, and don't allow that feed to dissolve into the pond. In the first place, try to avoid overfeeding, but when it happens, take out the remaining feed, and that can also help to maintain your water quality. The second thing you must also avoid is underfeeding. Now, underfeeding is also dangerous because it will lead to tender growth of your fish. When your fish feed lesser than they required, they will not grow well because their body will not get all the required nutrients for the body to grow. Because if you want to grow your fish bigger, or if you want your fish to increase in size within smaller possible time, feed them very well. If I say feed them very well, you must also avoid overfeeding as we discussed earlier. So if you always don't feed your fish the right way, so they get the right feed, they will not grow well. And if they don't grow well, you will keep them more than the time that or the duration that you should keep them before selling them. So giving your fish the required feed at a time will also lead to growth of your fish. If you also underfeed your fish, it will also lead to what we call cannibalism. Cannibalism is where the fish attack and consume other fish. So the bigger fish or the aggressive fish will attack and consume the less aggressive or the smaller fish. Because when they are hungry, because you are not able to give them enough feed, then they will tend to eat each other. So that consumption of each other is what we call cannibalism. So underfeeding will also lead to cannibalism, and cannibalism will also lead to loss of fish which you will not want to experience. So the best way to do is to accept balance between underfeeding and overfeeding. What I'm trying to say is that do not overfeed your fish and do not underfeed your fish. The third common mistake to avoid in feeding your fish is irregularity or irregular feeding schedules. Irregular feeding schedule means that you don't have the right time you feed your fish. Anytime you feel like feeding them, you feed them. You don't have the number of time you feed them daily. Anytime you feel like feeding them, you feed them. This method of feeding will never help you to produce your fish. So make sure that you have the right time that you feed your fish and stick to that time. If you are feeding morning, afternoon, evening, then make sure that if you are feeding them in the morning at 8, stick to that. An hour late or an hour earlier probably will not be much problem. Afternoon to the same, evening to the same. But if you don't have that scheduled time and you just decide to feed them, today you are giving them 3 times, tomorrow you are giving them 2 times, today you are giving them 1 time, these irregularities will never help your fish. That can also lead to cannibalism, as we discussed earlier. Fish grow better and they respond to feeding when you have the right schedule and they know that this is the time that we feed, and they know when it is approaching they become hungry because naturally they are prepared to take the feed at that time, so they are ready to eat. But when you don't have that schedule and you just give them haphazardically, there's possible that you will give them the feed and the next time that you are giving them the feed they are still not hungry, or they have been hungry for too much. So make sure that you have regular feeding. And now when it comes to the number of times that you should feed your fish, it depends. If your fish are still fingerling or if they are still small, they take small feed at a time, but within shortest time they are hungry again. So if you are still having fingerling, it is ideal to feed them 3 times daily, morning, afternoon, evening, because they will be taking less at a time and within the shortest time they are hungry. So maintain that schedule. But as they grow, their appetite increase. They take more, but when they take more, they can keep that feed for longer period. So when they grow up to possible 3 months, you can start giving them twice a day. That is morning and evening. And try to maintain that schedule as well. But when you grow them to bigger size, for instance, when they reach 500 grams and above, or possibly they are 4-5 months going, you can then give them once a day. But that once, give them enough that can keep them till the following day. And when you are feeding them, they will take much more. Then you can feed them once and it will keep them till the following day. So when that happens, you are keeping the right schedule or regular schedule of feeding. But if you don't do that and you just feed them at any time you want, any way you want, that irregularities will never let your fish to perform better when it comes to grow. Please note, discipline in fish farming is very paramount. If you are not disciplined, you cannot raise your fish to your desired size. Make sure that you are disciplined, feed them the right way, the right quantity, the right time, and you will have the right fish at the right time that you want to harvest them. Thank you so much for watching. If you have been inspired, please subscribe to this channel, like and share this video. And don't forget to check out our resource in the description to help you grow your fish better. My name is Abdulaziz Issa and this is Fakwa Aquaponics. Please like and share this video. Thank you.